Good morning, students. Today I will discuss the solution of yesterday's paper, that is term 1, second assessment. Okay, question number 1, A part. Prove that root 3 is an irrational number by method of contradiction. Okay, so we'll suppose let root 3 is a rational number. This is a contradiction because we have to prove that root 3 is an irrational number. So we have supposed that root 3 is a rational number. Then root 3 can be represented as a by b, where b is not equal to 0 and a and b are co-primes. So 1 mark for this statement. If you miss either of the point, then you will not get 1 mark for that. Then squaring 3 is equal to a square by b square, or we say a square is equal to 3 times b square. A square is a multiple of 3, therefore a is a multiple of 3. Let a is equal to 3 times m. Squaring a square is equal to 9m square. From first, this is the first equation. From first, replacing a square by 3 times b square, the 3 times b square is equal to 9m square, or we say b square is equal to 3m square. Again, we say that b square is a multiple of 3. Hence, b is a multiple of 3. So, a and b have common factor 3, which contradicts with our original assumption. Therefore, root 3 is an irrational number. Now, student, 1 mark for this. 1 mark when you substitute a square, value of a square over here, then you will get it. And the third mark, when you people will write that a and b have common factor 3, which contradicts with our original assumption, and root 3 is an irrational number. So all these part is of 1 mark. Now B part. You have to insert two rational numbers between root 3 and root 7. We have to insert two rational numbers. Now we all know that root 3 and root 7 are an irrational number, but we need to insert a rational number between these two numbers. So what should we do? Okay, now we will find a number between 3 and 7 which is perfect square. So one number, I can say that 3.24. We all know that the square root of 3.24 is square root of 3.24 is 1.8 and square root of 4 is 2. And we know that if both of these two are the rational numbers. So when you are taking 3.24 or any other perfect square, you will get 1 mark and then 1 mark for the two correct answers. Now, if x is equal to 5 minus 2 root 6, we need to find x square plus 1 upon x square. Okay, while teaching this topic, I told you people, whenever you need to find out these kind of values and x is given, so we will do some different things. Say we will use either x plus 1 upon x whole square or x minus, that is x square plus 1 upon x square plus 2, or x plus 1 upon x whole square minus 2 is equal to x square plus 1 upon x square. This is far much more simpler than the finding out the square and then rationalizing the denominator. So for that we need to find out 1 upon x. 1 upon x, that is 1 upon 5 minus 2 root 6. Rationalizing factor is 5 plus 2 root 6 into 5 plus 2 root 6. This is of 1 mark. When you are multiplying with rationalizing factor both numerator and denominator, or simply identifying the rationalizing factor, you will get 1 mark for that. Now 1 by x is equal to 5 plus 2 root 6, and this is 5 square minus 2 root 6 square. 5 plus 2 root 6 upon 25 minus 24, or we say 1 by x is equal to 5 plus 2 root 6. Now, so as to find out the value of x square plus 1 upon x square, we will put the value x plus 1 upon x whole square minus 2. Now x plus 1 upon x, 5 minus 2 root 6 plus 5 plus 2 root 6 whole square minus 2. This will constitute 1 mark. Correct substitution of the values in the correct form will give you 1 mark for that. Now minus 2 root 6 plus 2 root 6 will be cancelled out. 5 plus 5, that is 10. Square of 10 is 100. 100 minus 2, 98. And 1 mark for the correct answer. But this question is of 4 marks. Okay, then we'll give you the 1 mark over here also. Finding 1 upon x, 5 plus 2 root 6. Question number 2a part. Now state which of the fraction 17 by 40 or 32 by 45 is terminating decimal, and why? Okay, if we take the first fraction 17 by 40, let's find out the prime factors of denominator, that is 2, 20, 2, 10, 2, 5 and 5, 1. Since prime factors of denominator are combination of 2 and 5, therefore 17 by 40 is a terminating decimal. Then 32 by 45, again finding the prime factors of the denominator, 3, 3. Now, since prime factors of denominator are other than 2 and 5, therefore 32 by 45 is a recurring decimal. Recurring decimal or non-terminating decimal. Now the marks. Either of the prime factors you have found 1 mark, then 1 mark for this is the prime factors of denominator, the combination of 2 and 5 is 17 by 40 is a terminating decimal, the whole statement, 1 mark, and 1 mark for this statement. Since one of the factor is other than 2 and 5, therefore it is a recurring decimal. Okay, second B part. X is equal to 1 minus root 2. We need to find out the value of x minus 1 upon x whole cube. So we are not going to expand it because it will be quite difficult for us. So first we will find out 1 by x, that is 1 upon 1 minus root 2. Multiplying both numerator and denominator by 1 plus root 2 will give you 1 mark. 1 plus root 2 square of 1 minus root 2 square. So 1 plus root 2 upon 1 minus 2, or it will be minus 1 plus root 2. Now we will find x minus 1 upon x. That is 1 minus root 2 minus again minus 1 plus root 2. Here is the catch. That is why this step has 1 mark for it. Now 1 minus root 2 minus into minus plus, that is plus 1 plus root 2. Minus root 2 plus root 2 will be cancelled out. 1 plus 1, that is 2. And since we need to find out the value of x minus 1 upon x whole cube, we know the value of x minus 1 upon x, that is 2. Substituting the value over there, the 2 ka cube, that is 8. 1 mark for this correct answer. Okay, question number 2, C part. Now it is given that if 5 plus 3 root 2 upon 5 minus 3 root 2 is equal to a plus b root 2, and we need to find out the values of a and b. Now first and foremost thing, since we see that there is no denominator on the right hand side, so we need to rationalize the denominator on the left hand side. This we have done earlier. 5 plus 3 root 2 upon 5 minus 3 root 2. Okay, multiplying both numerator and denominator by the rationalizing factor, which is supposed to be 5 plus 3 root 2, and again 5 plus 3 root 2. And I have always told you people that whenever you recognize the rationalizing factor, that will give you 1 mark for it. Okay, now we have 5 plus 3 root 2 whole square, and denominator we have a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square. 5 square minus 3 root 2 square. Now we'll expand. First term square plus second term square plus 2 times first term into second term. Okay, it's 3 root 2. A denominator 5 square is 25. 3 root 2 square, I told you people that if you have any confusion, multiply it. 3, 3, 9, root 2 into root 2, that is 2, that is 18. So 25 minus 18. Okay, 5 square, 25, 3 root 2 square, we have just seen, it's 18. And over here, 2, 5, 10, 10 into 3, 30 root 2 divided by 25 minus 18, 15 minus 8, that is 7. Now we can add or subtract the like terms, so 25 and 18 are the rational numbers, so we can easily add them. And we have a plus b root 2 is equal to 25 plus 18, 5 plus 8, 13, 43 plus 30 root 2 by 7. Now breaking up into the partial fraction on the right hand side, a plus b root 2 is equal to 43 by 7 plus 30 root 2 by 7. Now comparing the rational and irrational part, so we see that a is equal to 43 by 7, b root 2 is equal to 30 root 2 by 7. So here root 2 will be cancelled out. Now student, remember, you are not supposed to leave the answer in improper fraction. You have to represent the answer in mixed fraction. Okay, 6 1 by 7, 4 2 by 7. Now mark distribution. 1 mark for this, 1 mark for either of the correct expansion, for the, either for the expansion or for this factorization or expansion. Now 1 mark for correct value of A and 1 mark for the correct value of B. 43 by 7 and 30 by 7, these answer will not be accepted, as you people have already told. Okay. Thank you, students. Now, my dear students, you know that your attendance is marked on the basis of the Google form responses which you people attempt after each and every class. Now, this is a mandatory thing. If you are absent in either of the Google form given by the teacher on that day, on that particular day, you will be marked absent. And it's a board rule that if your attendance is falling below 75%, then you will not be allowed to give your board examination. Therefore, after looking this, please, I will be posting a Google form. You all have to attempt it. That is very important. Thank you, students.